It is currently the next day. Yesterday, we got the turbo kit off, up pipe, turbo, exhaust manifold. The intake manifold been off, but we blew out all the valves, all the water out the valves, and all the water out the turbo, as you can clearly see in the previous clips. It was a lot of water. I mean, some people like that's not a lot of water, but I feel like that's enough water to destroy a turbo. And the water that was in the valve, I feel like that was enough water to destroy, just take out the entire block. Yesterday, I just called it a day. I was tired. I finally got to a comfortable stopping point where today, it is a little late. I got here around, it's currently like, what time is it? Let's see what time it is. It's currently 8:15. And we just got here, so there's no assembly progress has been done. So I still gotta put turbo back, the whole turbo kit back on, intake manifold, button everything back up, put coolant in it. Alright, so as you guys can clearly see, I put the intake manifold off. I started buttoning all the connectors up, and I had to take it back off. It's right there on the ground. But here's why. Well, let me get the sensor off for it and I'll show you. So this was the sensor that originally broke, where I took my intake manifold off to depin and repin it. This is the passenger side cam position sensor. When this died on me that one time, it just makes your car randomly turn off at points. Like, you could be at any RPM. Actually, not really any RPM, but more so on the lower RPM band, and your car would just turn off. But the reason why this sensor was broken the first time, because I couldn't get it on for some reason. Yeah, so that connector, the pins are bent, and one pin has a piece of connector still stuck to it. So that's our problem. Again, it's not the end of the world. You can go grab a pick and trying to straighten those pins out and pull that piece of connector off, and then throw it back on the car, and then run back and put the intake manifold on again. Hopefully that will work. Looks a lot better. It was that little tiny piece of shrapnel. I've straightened it back up. Actually, before I actually just put this back on the car, I might as well try it right now while I was off the car, see if it fits. Because no point of putting it back on the car and putting an intake manifold back on, just that the one of the pins got to be shifted a little bit. So let's try this real quick. If you guys don't know, this one is this white connector. I made a video of replacing it. I just never posted it, but it's very simple. And if you guys want me to, I can make another video on how to depin one of these wire connectors, because it was a struggle for me the first time, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty simple. But let's check it real quick and see if I can do this one-handed. Hold on. Please work. Woo! Look at that, boys! Alright, so I'm gonna take this off and I'm running back over and put it on the engine, and we can get this intake manifold on. Alright. Or just whenever you feel like getting snug, just stop. Because it's one sensor you don't want to break, because basically it's one of those important sensors. Apparently on a Subaru, every single sensor is important, but I digress. Let me just get the intake manifold on, get to a good stopping point, so tomorrow I can come in with my new gaskets, put the oil in, get some coolant in this mug, and start her up. So now, I'm gonna finish tightening down all the bolts, get all the connectors plugged up. I have to put in those spark plugs on that side, so I'll probably do that. Then I'll probably get the air box back in, probably get the intake back in. We'll run through this on. everything to look like this. Brand new, nice and clean. One day, man. But for now, we just gotta do what we got. So she's almost all together. Well, what I could do today. Intake manifold on, alternator is going on right now. Every wiring connector is cleaned, pinned correctly, and snapped on beautifully. So now all I gotta do when I come here tomorrow, don't forget coolant, gaskets, and that's about it. Show you what it looks like. I lost the bolt that goes here. I didn't lose it, it's somewhere in the car, so I'll put this adjuster on tomorrow, right there. And then I'll get a new belt tomorrow, because if you watch this YouTube video, you know I switched it out for another one. But and then I'll get my gaskets tomorrow, coolant, and I'll put the overflow back on, intake, turbo, downpipe, sorry, turbo up pipe, downpipe. We're not sure about that yet. And then I'll put the exhaust manifold I have over there, put it back on. I know it's crusty, but we're gonna sell this car and try and get one from down south that's not rusty, cause all the way across the country just for a car. I want to. It's a car I always wanted, and this is the whole motto I have of, if you want to do something, just do it. Like, a lot of people are not going to support it, and a lot of people are not going to understand it, but if it makes you happy, do it. And like my boy Jordan, he picked up a car from California and drove it all the way back here. Granted, it wasn't a Subaru, but still. It's something I just want to cross off my bucket list that I never created, you know? This is like a multiple day video. I'm probably just gonna cut it here, or I'll pick it back up tomorrow. But if I do decide to cut it here, thanks for sticking around, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below what you think about, would you take a cross-country drive for a car that you always wanted if you had the opportunity to? Do you think it's extra? Let me know what y'all think in the comments below, and catch you on another one. Deuces. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.